point, let me tell you about framing. Framing is the most natural thing that anybody does. You think in terms of metal structures called frames. Every word is defined with respect to them. So it's normal to think that way. In politics, framing works at many levels. The deepest frames have to do with your worldview, the way you understand the world. And conservatives and progressives understand the world very, very differently. Then there are lower-level framings about what a moral system is, what your political principles are, how you think society should be organized. And then there are frames about particular issues, ways in which you understand, let's say, what healthcare is about, as we'll talk about tonight. Then there are frames for particular words and expressions that we use. So there's a hierarchy of frames. The most important ones are the higher ones in the hierarchy, the deeper ones, which are usually unconscious and usually unspoken. And those are the ones that we study at the Rockridge Institute. So when we go through the structure of the healthcare debate, we're going to be talking about those frames that are usually not discussed, as well as those that are.
Beautiful. Now, when we spoke before we started, we talked about three different frames that have emerged in the healthcare debate. Mm-hmm. Can you outline those for us?
Well, one of them has to do with the idea of coverage as opposed to care. And that's a very important thing. When people talk about universal coverage, they're talking about health insurance. They're not talking about health care, that is, the care that you actually get. Now, health insurance is a strange industry. It's an anti-market industry. Insurance companies make their money by denying care, as Michael Moore pointed out in Sicko. That is, once they get premiums, then the less care they give, the less they're spending, the more profit they make. And they have an incentive to deny care, and they have huge administrative costs. Namely, they pay a lot of money to people to figure out how to deny you care. This is anti-market in the following way. That is, in a real market, those companies who deliver the most products make the most money. In health insurance, those companies that deliver the least product make the most money. In a real market, competition helps consumers. In health insurance, it's the reverse. Competition among insurance companies is competition for profit, and therefore, the more profit you have to make to compete, the less care you give. So competition actually hurts consumers, which is an anti-market phenomenon. So the idea that the market will take care of everything is exactly wrong. It's exactly the opposite of that. And the idea that we should use health insurance as a way to, quote, cover everybody means that we would expand the domain of the health insurance industry, make it even more powerful than it now is, and then institutionalize its use. This is highly counterproductive, especially since people who already have insurance policies, that is coverage, are getting less and less care as time goes on, and will get less care in the future.